Hi, I'm your host, Joe Garcia. Welcome to another episode of the Countdown 210 podcast. I'm joined today by a very special guest all the way from Corpus Christi, Texas, Thomas the Spurs dude, Vega. How you doing,
What's
brother?
what's going on, man? Oh, pretty good.
Always a pleasure, man. Haven't seen you or heard from you in a while because we've been busy with all the Spurs news coming out, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Media day, like we're like some freaking drug addicts, man. We got to have our Spurs fixed, dude.
yeah, yep.
Hey, so I wanted to ask you, dude. You see this? What are you predicting actually for the 2015-2016 season? That's a big hot topic because everybody's already, and I already put it on Facebook myself too. And I said, hey, what does everybody think as far as the records go? People are saying that the Spurs are going to win like 82 games and they're going to be winning like, something insane like 70 plus. And I'm being more realistic, dude. I think that they're gonna have a good season, but I think they're still gonna win like I'd say between 56 to 60 games. And what do you think?
Yeah, I think they'll be fine in terms of winning, and obviously when everybody talks about the regular season, everyone gets excited and gets hyped up, pumped up. But you have to be realistic, like you said, and you got to think the way the Spurs play. They're not a team that's going to rush. They're not going to come out and try to win an X amount of games. Their goal is not to do that. Even Pop said in media day was talking about that and said, we're going to take it step by step. We're not going to skip steps. We're going to go. We're going to do this the right way. We're not going to try to rush. We're not going to try to try to win a certain.
Force
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. It's gonna take time. Everybody wants to see the new look Spurs, and everyone expects to see the results. At right from the first tip, but it doesn't work that way. It's an 82 game season, and the Spurs are gonna play this season just like they do every other year. Take it. You break down the season in portions, and when you start off, you know, you have October, November, December. You just break it down, but you don't go in there trying to rush. It's you there's a process, and but with the team that the Spurs have, they can come out. They can very much come out of the gates, winning right away. You just never know, but a lot of it's going to have to do with the chemistry. Adding LaMarcus Aldridge, bringing in David West,
Yeah.
Ray McCallum, all the new pieces, and how they fit together. Their chemistry, how quickly the chemistry starts ticking, will determine how many games they start winning right away.
I
And
actually think this is what's gonna happen, man. I think in the beginning, and everybody's always they get mad at me because they say, "Oh, you're just a big time Spurs hater." I'm not a Spurs hater. I'm just a realistic fan. It'd be ideal for them to come out of the gate going on a tear, winning 10 games in a row. But me and you both know that that's more than likely not going to happen. We know that they're going to have growing pains in the beginning, like you just said.
mhm.
I think they're just going to take a couple games, like at least maybe 10 to 12 games, to get used to each other before we really start seeing them put together some big time runs.
Yeah,
I mean, because these are players that really haven't played together, before. It's not. They have some of the returning veterans, that'll do their best to show the newer players, the ins and outs of the system. But you can't force the issue, like you said, and it's. So another thing I think we should talk about too is I saw this. Let's think of this video that they did on Yahoo. Did you see it, the interview that Yahoo Sports did with David West, Thomas?
oh yeah,
Um, it was interesting because they kept talking with David West, and they asked him, time and time again, everybody was always asking him the same question: why did you walk away from basically $12 million to come over here for the veteran minimum to play with the Spurs? And he had a great response, and you probably saw it too. He said, everybody always talks about what I walked away from, but nobody ever talks about what I
But I
gained here in
mean,
San Antonio, you
yep.
know? And just with that statement alone, you already know he's a perfect fit here. He's a team
Yeah.
player. So I was like, wow, man, I got a lot of respect for him once he said that. It's like he came here because you can't put a price tag on a championship, and that's what he wants to play for. Because he knows the sun's already starting to set on his career. He's getting up there in age, and he's probably going to retire within the next 2 or 3 years. So
Mhm.
this is his last shot.
Yep.
So I was just kind of surprised, that he said that. I was like, wow, you know, I didn't expect that from him. Another thing too is that, what do you think about Patty Mills, bro? Patty Mills was hurt last year. All his stats, and you know this for a fact too. Everybody's always saying, "Oh, Patty Mills had a great year last season. He was draining threes like crazy." He was not. When he came back, his shot was off. Even in the playoffs, Patty Mills wasn't all that in the playoffs either. His stats were down across the board. And it was because he's just coming off of surgery. He never got in his rhythm. He's had all this season, this off season to practice and get back in his shape. The way he'd like to be when you start the season, not coming and just trying to fit in the system and you're already hurt. I mean, do you think he's going to have a better year this year?
Oh yeah, most definitely. Patty Mills is a player that I always praise all the time because this is he's a very very good player. He's a solid player and a great backup. And Patty Mills, like I tell people all the time, you know he's a great leader, and he's developed those leadership roles. Playing for the Australian national team. Even before he joined the Spurs, he played a couple years in Portland. He was also teammates with Marcus Aldridge a couple of years back, and during those years when he stepped in for Brandon Roy, he really, really developed that experience. And by the time he got to the Spurs, he just implemented it, and it just he stuck. He just fit in like a glove. And we saw what happened in the 2014 Finals against the Heat. He just made shot after shot after shot, and a lot of that is just playing with confidence. Patty Mills, he plays with a lot of confidence. And when he plays that way, he can do anything he wants to. And a lot of that is just the player mentality that he has. So I expect a lot of good things from Patty Mills. Now that he's going to be healthy, and a lot of people were raving about him, even during the first day of training camp, even a couple of weeks ago when they started opening up the gym so the Spurs could go in there and work out and practice. People were already raving about him. Like Patty Mills looks, man, this looks like the old Patty Mills from 2014, and like you can tell like the way he's shooting again. Like, and then he
He's got
also
his rhythm
played,
back. He's got his
yeah,
rhythm back.
and that's the Patty Mills that we all know. And yeah, I'm
He's gonna be
expecting,
that.
I'm
Yeah,
expecting Patty Mills to be the same player again once again.
yeah. He's gonna be that spark off the bench, no doubt, this year. And I expect him to have a better performance than he did last year. It's hard, like I said. You're injured and you're trying to get back to where you were before, and you just never get in that rhythm because you're coming in. When the season's already, you're what was it, 30 games in, something like that, before he came back.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's hard to get your rhythm back. You need to start off in the preseason, before you can really get into rhythm and get into game shape and all that kind of stuff. And he just wasn't there. But this year will be different. He'll be a better player. Hey man, you play that NBA 2K16? I know you do. You're always posting pictures of it.
Oh yeah.
Eh, What do you think about the ratings for Tim Duncan?
Uh, or the ratings. I know they changed the ratings on 2K16 this year, and I actually read an article about that. And the guy that was responsible for making those ratings, and he's about a 25-year-old kid. He's a he pretty smart. He pretty
Well, he's
much
making the game. He is pretty smart.
I mean, he calculated the he calculated the player ratings based on their stats from last year, and basically they changed the gameplay of it. It's not the same like before. Now you have to be a lot smarter in the way you play the game. It's almost like real life. There's some plays that kind of glitch. I'll be honest about that. There's still some glitches, some bugs that need
But
to be fixed.
everybody wants to
Uh,
know how's the passing. In the years past, man, that passing was all whack, dude.
But yeah. The passing, well, like I said, the passing, it's improved, but you just got to know when to pass it, how to pass it. I know there's sometimes you'll hit the wrong button by accident and it goes to the opposite player you wanted to go to. But the way you can set pick and rolls, they changed the configuration of the controls to where if you're setting a pick, it's a it's different now on the controller. So also when you're doing bounce passes and things like that, lob passes, they just changed the controls and the gameplay. Also, you can play better defense. The players stick to the guys with the ball now more than they did last year. Last year's game, it was horrible. You would just zigzag by somebody and get to the lane like nothing, like
Yeah.
they weren't even there. Now you actually have to go around them. You have to play smart. And
Or the
but yeah,
disadvantage with with LeBron. Hey, I was gonna ask you, hey, did you get to see that video we did with Eric Bird, the dancing usher from the AT&T Center?
oh yeah. I was watching that.
Well, what
Yeah.
did you think about your boy's moves, man? Rick,
Oh,
man, that was hilarious, dude. We just had fun out there, man.
oh.
But we had to leave, man. We're gonna do a podcast with the Spurs Dynasty group. But did you know that they have speakers at Brack when there's bad weather, man? And it says bad weather imminent, and you see all this lightning and stuff. It said lightning's been detected. Go seek shelter immediately. And they had
Dang.
park rangers out there telling people to leave and stuff. I'm like, what?
Oh.
I never seen any of that stuff happen before at Brack, man. I was a little surprised.
Oh wow. Well,
Hey,
I've only been there once, but so I have no idea they had all that.
yeah, neither did I, bro, and I've been here. Hey, another
Hmm.
thing too is I wanted to give a quick shout out to our friend Joseph, the Texas Mongoose Rodriguez. Uh, I don't know if you guys know, but he has a fight coming up. He's your local pro San Antonio boxer. So y'all go out and get your tickets. You can go to our website. We did an interview with Joseph. There's ticket information on there. You can also look him up on Facebook and purchase your tickets while they're still available. They were selling out pretty quick already. They only had a few left, but make sure you go and get your tickets. He's got a fight coming up October 6th at 6 p.m. at Cowboys Dance Hall, and it's actually going to be shown on Fox Sports 1. So make sure everybody comes out and supports your local pro boxer, Joseph the Texas Mongoose Rodriguez. We're rooting for you, baby. You're going to get 10-0 after this fight. And another thing I was going to ask you about, what's your nickname for Bobin, man?
Just
Have you thought
Boba.
of a nickname? Because
Well, when we first signed Boban Marjanovic, when the Spurs had first, came out and said they were gonna sign him, first thing I immediately thought of was Chief from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
hey, man, I'm glad the brother's playing for us, man.
Yeah,
Hey, but I think his nickname should. You tell me if you think I'm not being mean. I'm just saying he's like an imposing figure. Like he's scary looking because he's
yeah,
big. He's tall.
He kind of reminds me of that movie with Billy Crystal.
Oh,
Where-
Mershon.
Yeah,
Yeah, I remember that guy. He used to play for the Sixers.
yeah.
Yeah, he kind of reminds me of that guy because he's like what? That guy was like 7'6", 7'7", right? Something like that. Marshawn something. I forgot his name.
Oh, I forgot his name too.
Yeah, but our Boban, I think his nickname this year is gonna be Frankenstein. That's what I'm gonna call the brother, Frankenstein. I'm glad you're playing for us, man. Because I'd be afraid if I was on the other team and you're out on the court, man. I'm afraid you're gonna squash me.
Mhm.
Hey, and what about Manu, dude? This is his last. This is his last one song. Last season. So it's kind of bittersweet. What do you expect out of Manu this year?
Well, I don't want to say too much. I don't want to say too little. I just expect, whatever he has left in the tank because, I mean,
Might as well go all out because there ain't gonna be another season. I hate to say it like that, but true enough, man. You're gonna just leave it all out there on the court.
yeah,
He didn't do all that great, the last year, but I mean, I don't know, dude. I think he's gonna come out. It's not gonna be so much pressure. I think he's just gonna go out there and have fun. He's gonna savor every moment, every second, and he's just gonna have fun this season. I think he's gonna wind up doing surprisingly well.
yeah.
And they had another article, man. I don't know if you checked this out, but this local guy here in town, they did an article about him in the Express News. The guy's name was Will Harden. This brother here, man, he's got a huge Spurs cap and shoe collection. I mean, he's got like over like crazy, like 500. He's been collecting for over 5 years. He started in 2010, and he's got a massive collection, dude. I mean, if you go out there and you check it out, we have it on our website, the story on SpursFanCave.com. But I mean, this guy, he's got tons of Spurs merchandise, man. He puts people to shame. He said he's already spent more than $10,000 to build his lot of headgear, man.
My God.
It's like, man, this dude's serious, man. I give him props for that.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, dude, can you imagine that, man?
I love the Spurs, but you ain't gonna see
Yeah.
me spending $10,000 on just a gear by itself. I'll probably, man, if you're gonna spend $10,000, you better be sitting in the damn floor, courtside seats for about 5 games, and getting on
Be wearing a
time.
gold hat. I
Oh
want a
man,
gold hat. I want a hat made out of gold.
if I ever hit the lottery, if I ever became that rich, I mean, I would literally buy people Spurs tickets and just take people that never been to games, invite people that don't get the opportunity to see those games. That's who I would take. I wouldn't take rich, stuck up folks. Those people could stay at home.
Well, take our raza, man. Take my
Yeah,
people, dude. That's what I would do. I would load up the bus, dude. Take the
yeah.
rowdiest fans and sit them right at the court side, dude.
Oh man,
Then put all these people to shame. They'll be scared.
they'll be. We would like to renew our season tickets, please.
Who let the Mexicans on the floor? Who did it? Said, don't be scared. Don't be scared. We're not here to serve you. We're here to have fun.
I know. I didn't serve you.
Like, come on now, y'all can get your own drinks.
Oh man.
Hey, and you saw the passing, dude. Of it's sad, man. Big George, dude. He was one of the first super fans in Spurs history. I remember watching this guy when I used to go and watch the games as a kid with my family at Hemisphere Arena. And I just remember his enthusiasm and him getting up and getting all crazy. And he had a big old Texas flag he used to be waving around, and he'd get the crowd going and he'd get them pumped. I mean, the guy was just full of energy, and he was the nicest guy that you'd ever meet.
Oh yeah.
You saw him out there in the
Yeah.
hallway and stuff. I mean, he'd shake your hand, take a picture with you, talk Spurs with you. I mean, it was sad, when I found out that he passed away, because I just remember I have fond memories of the guy when he was out there just, you know, sporting the colors and just doing his thing, man. He was the epitome of what it was to be a Spurs super fan. He wasn't in it for none of that fame, none of that glory kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's
He
true.
was just supporting his team. He just had a passion for the Spurs, and sad to say that to learn that he passed away, but man, he'll always be a legend, man. The legend, Big George Vale, man. You know, M- respect, man, respect to that guy. And another thing that I saw that came up is they just released some pictures, and you just put them up too on your Facebook at Thomas the Spurs dude on Facebook, TTSD. And like I always tell the people, man, that's not contagious. Those are just your initials. Oh man, I crack myself up, man. We always say that. Y'all don't know we pay attention to the podcast when I'm on here with Rick, but we're always playing around, man. Usually it involves the wee man.
Yeah. Uh,
But what do you think of the scoreboard, man?
well, it's not bigger than the Rockets. It's not bigger than the Cavaliers or anybody else. I mean, you know, uh, but it is an upgrade nonetheless. I
It
know.
has a little wraparound screen on the top.
Yeah, it does actually. I mean, and there's gonna be even screens on the bottom of it. Now, it's not up in the air yet, but they have already installed it.
Yeah, they already
And,
assembled it and
yeah,
everything. It's
everything's
ready to be
and
put up.
that was just done today, I'm sure. And this must have been done during the afternoon. And the reason why I say that is because when you look at the picture, or when I looked at there's actually a video uh, of it. But if you look at the one picture, you can see the entrance or the where the exits are at, and the even the top part of the arena. You can see sunlight coming in. So this was done during the day, and
Hmm.
so I'm assuming it was done earlier in the day today. Now I don't see the seats there yet. I don't think they've installed the seats yet, but the video boards have gone
I
up
think
on.
they were
That'll
waiting to
probably be
get
the
my
last
measurements
thing.
first. They were waiting to get my measurements first, man, so they can get some big boy seats in there.
Oh man,
Because remember I telling you that last time, them seats are small, man.
yeah.
There's some small seats in there, dude. I'm telling you. I'm anxious to see what's gonna happen, dude. I want to see if they're actually gonna finish, or it's gonna be a work in progress on opening night. Because we're already in the month of October. I
And
mean, that's a lot of seats to
the
install.
first preseason game too. It's not like they're gonna play the first game not till the season starts at the AT&T Center. They're playing the first
Yeah.
preseason game, and that's against who? Atlanta, I think, or who are they playing again?
Was it Atlanta
Detroit,
or was it no? It was Sacramento. Sacramento
Sacramento.
was the
Yeah,
first preseason game.
and that's gonna man,
Sacramento
that's
first.
gonna be a tough deadline. That's gonna be a tight because it's already October 1st.
Yeah,
So
I know. I was just like, I don't know, man. Y'all gonna have to be standing up, or and that open scrimmage, man. I don't know if you've heard anything about it, but
I haven't heard
last I heard,
anything.
they weren't gonna have
They
it.
probably,
But
I think they canceled it. I don't think they have anything planned for that because I think by now
they would have.
they would have said something a long time ago.
Yeah, I told some of the Spurs reps out there at the AT&T Center, it's like you all should still have that open scrimmage, but move it next door to the Hemisphere Arena.
What did they say when you told them that?
They said they were gonna think about it, but I
Mm,
don't think they were gonna do it really because you know for whatever reason they want to have it probably at the AT&T Center, but this is something that the fans look forward to. And taking that away from them is like a big blow. Because we're all anxious. We want to see the Spurs, even if it's an open scrimmage. It's just the camaraderie by getting there to with your fellow Spurs fans, and rooting for the team, and seeing some of the new players, maybe trying to get an autograph here or there. That's what it's about.
yep.
So I don't know, man. Hopefully they don't cancel it, and they still do it. But I think I'm with you on that one, dude. They haven't said nothing about it, but
No, they haven't came out and said anything.
See some of these baby pictures from the Spurs, dude.
Yeah.
Man, that one picture with Tim Duncan on that pony, dude. The brothers wearing the freaking cowboy hat. Oh man, they didn't have to do him like that, man.
Only.
I was like, oh no, man. Those are some embarrassing pictures, dude. I know we all have them. You know, I got some. I got. I can't believe they put those pictures up there, man, of all those guys, dude. That's embarrassing, man.
They must have had gotten that somehow through the family or something.
Called up mom and told her, you know, you got some pictures. Send me some pictures. Be
Somebody.
like, oh man, dude. And Danny Green, dude, what do you think he's gonna be doing this year?
Well, hopefully hitting threes.
Green
Because
for three.
I mean, same thing he did, 2 years ago. Hit three. I mean, that's his only job. Hit threes, hit threes, hit threes, and
Oh, we got a little competition going on here for that final roster spot, dude. It's getting quite interesting now. They got Rasul Butler. They got Jameer Fredette. And what's that other guy's name?
Jonathan
Jonathan
Simmons.
Simmons, dude. And out of those three players, somebody's gonna have to get. They're gonna get rid of two of them. They might keep two out of the three if they're really that promising. But I don't know, man. That's gonna be an interesting competition. I mean, out of those three players, who do you pick? Jameer Fredette, he hasn't been all that great. This is kind of his last.
Yeah, we better not sign Jameer for that because I'm not even sold on that guy. So, um, I've se- I don't know. I don't. I think his release is too slow. He doesn't have a
Yeah,
quick enough release. He's gonna get blocked. Um, and
he needs that extra screen in order to get his shot off,
yeah,
kind of like Matt
and that's the
Bonner.
pro. Yeah, yeah. He's not gonna be able to get a lot of shot offs, not with such a slow release. But
Uh, but Rasul,
I think Rasul Butler has a good case. I mean, he's a veteran. He can hit three
if
pointers.
I was the Spurs, yeah, if I was the Spurs, man, I'd want to keep Jonathan Simmons, man.
Yeah, it's Simmons because he's younger, and he can get. You know,
He's
if
got some
he
hops, dude. He's
yeah,
got some
if he
hops,
just
man.
comes out and plays and hustles, the Spurs just need somebody to make hustle plays. That's all it is. You go out there and you make hustle plays, you're gonna get playing time minutes.
Yeah, they need somebody to get out there on the floor and get those 50-50 balls, man, because a lot of those 50-50 balls, they didn't go the Spurs' way last year. There was a lot of second and third shot opportunities for the opposing team that kept these teams in the game when the Spurs should have been beating them by like 20, 30 points. The Spurs, it's sad to say, but last year, man, their rebounding was horrific, especially the offensive rebounds. That was horrible, dude. It was painful to watch sometimes. And you know it too. You'd watch the opposing team and they were out there and they would get after all the balls and they had like three or four shot attempts, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Out of those three or four, one time is going to go in, you know? And that's a ball that the Spurs should have got, and they should have been down the court for a chance to score, not let this other team back in the game. So I'm hoping that with some of this young blood in there, these guys that can jump and more athletic, they can at least get their hands on the ball and tip it around and see if one of the other their other teammates can get the ball.
Yeah.
I mean, you noticed that too, right? I wasn't the only one.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I notice. I notice all those things, man.
Bobo,
Some.
Bobo is not a good rebounder, man. Come on now.
No, I mean he is kind of small, but well, not small in size, but small in height.
Kind of like Leonard. Yeah, the wee man. They're vertically challenged, but I mean, he I like the style of game that Bobo plays, and I love him as a player, man. He's one of my favorites because he's just very crafty. The way he gets in there, he's sly, he's slick. He's not going to beat you with speed and athleticism, but he's going to get to where he needs to get to,
Hmm.
kind of like slow mo, you know, Kyle Anderson. They don't call him slow mo for nothing. The brother's slow, but he always finds a way to get into that spot.
Yes.
Yeah, and they're underrated players, man. But I just want to see him do better this year as far as the rebounding goes. Both defensive and offensive rebounds. Those are. I think they lost some of those close games because of that.
Yeah.
That and free
True.
throws. You saw some of the
Yep.
times it was a free throws,
Oh
man. I was like,
man.
it's a 2 point game and somebody's at the line. I'm like, oh Lord, here we go. I couldn't even watch, man. I had to get up and leave sometimes.
Yeah. Shoot.
Yeah, I know you were the same way. You're like, I can't watch this no more, man. But yeah, man, I'm really. That the Spurs also just released their media
Broadcast.
schedule. Their broadcasting schedule, and they had like 73 games that are going to be broadcast this year. Most of the games are going to be broadcast, as you well know, on Fox Sports Southwest, and then a handful on KMSY here locally in town, which is the CW 30.
Mhm.
But sad to say, man, they don't broadcast the preseason games. Have you heard anything different about that?
No, they don't broadcast the preseason games, but I mean, there's always ways to watch them. uh,
I don't know why the Spurs now they took that away starting as I think it was last year is when I really noticed it that you couldn't watch the games just like you were like in years past. Just flip on the TV and watch some of these preseason games. They just don't broadcast them here. It's like they black them out here locally in San Antonio.
hmm.
And it's just been one of those weird things. They won the championship, and then they don't even show the preseason games. It's like, what's up with that, man? We got to listen to it on the radio.
Yeah.
You know,
And
I,
what they do is, and you can watch when you can watch them online. I normally find links on there, and that's how I watch the game. And what they'll do is they'll show the video feed from the scoreboard, and then you'll hear Bill Schoening in the background doing the commentary.
okay. So it's almost like you're
Mhm.
watching it on TV.
Yeah,
I got you.
and, but you'll still see it shows the game though.
Yeah, true that, man. I'm looking forward to seeing some games this year. I can't wait, man. I just want to see that first game against OKC. Right? We're playing OKC, was it?
Yes.
Because it was really, I think it was supposed to be another team. Weren't we gonna? Remember, they had made a switch in this. They changed the schedule. Initially, we were going to be playing somebody else on opening day, but then they switched it to OKC. Do you remember that? When they had initially released the schedule, it wasn't OKC. It was another team, and then they switched it like the next day or 2 days later. I don't know why they
Hmm.
did that, but
I don't know.
yeah, they switched it on us, man. All right, but we're having another Spurs march coming up soon. We'll have some details coming out, and we'll let you guys know the date. And we also have a little couple surprises in store for you guys. So y'all be on the lookout. Hopefully you can come down here and make it too. I never seen you at a Spurs march, Thomas.
Yeah. Uh, oh, when's the next one again?
Spurs march, man. I like your enthusiasm because I know you get rowdy when we're watching the games.
Oh yeah.
You remember Big Baby? Go change your diaper, baby. Remember that last year when we were playing the Clippers, man? They're going
Oh
crazy.
yeah.
So, man, it'd be cool, man. You come out and,
Oh,
when we have this next Spurs march out, we'll give you enough notice for you come out here and
okay.
join in
That's
the festivity.
well, that sounds good, man.
All right, man. Well, I'm going to go ahead and cut it short now. That's all the time we
Okay.
have for today. So until next time, go Spurs, go.
Go Spurs, go.